So everybody needs to be on mute so that, the noise doesn't get too bad. And we're gonna go ahead and start where we was at last time. Hold on a minute, let me cut this phone off because this thing, I'll put it in another room anyway. All right. Okay, so, two more people is in there. Admit. All right. Okay, I need everybody to go on mute because we recording this and I'm gonna put it up online, so I need y'all to be on mute. All right, if you read and then go back on mute so we don't have to, hear the background noise. So if you've been going online, watching the classes, then you should know that we should be right about here is the last one we left off at. I already have read Isaiah 42. So I need everybody to go ahead and turn to Jeremiah. We're gonna read chapter 23. And we're just gonna keep on rolling. We still trying to show the council in the Shamyin. So I need to get this series done. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this one. Today, we're gonna put this up online and then I'm gonna put the last part of it up, probably if not tonight, first thing in the morning. So, cause I already got it ready. So, well, most of it anyway. So Jeremiah chapter 23. Trey, you wanna read? Okay.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, start, man. Jeremiah chapter 23. I need you to get a little quicker now, turn these pages, because we want to get through this thing. I ain't trying to be mean to you, I love you, but.
No, I just got a different Bible, so it's a big old Bible. Jeremiah 23.
Yep, we're gonna read the whole chapter.
You said read the whole chapter?
Well, we're gonna read so much of it, we probably won't get the whole thing because it's a long chapter, but we'll probably go down to chapter 22. Verse 22.
Okay.
We're gonna jump around.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 23. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture. My pasture, says Yahuwah. Therefore, thus says Yahuwah, the Elohim of Israel, against the pastors that feed my people. You have scattered my flock and have driven them away and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, says Yah.
Right. So
I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries.
Can you hear me, Trey? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, hold on a minute right there. Okay, so what he's saying is these pastors are not visiting the flock. So when we go back, when we look at the Mashiach, he said that he was going to send a redeemer, right? That was going to bring light to the people. And he was going to visit them. So we know that from these other lessons that we've been doing, that the word visit means to have mercy, to have compassion on them and feed them the right way. And these pastors have not been doing this. And it's just not black pastors. It's all these not all of them, but it's a whole lot of them. The majority of the religion, because that's what I call it, because it's not really truth. Truth is culture. This Bible has a culture to it, and they're not teaching that. It's a man-made thing that they're giving the people, the thoughts and this dispensationalist of these men, which goes all the way back, as we know, back to Nimrod and these different characters like this, which ultimately goes back to Hasatan. Go ahead and start at verse 3.
And I will gather the remnant of my flock of all the countries where I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase.
Okay, so what he's saying then, he's just saying it's going to be a small remnant. Now, when you go to the book of Revelation, it says that it was a, he looked out and it was a number that no man could number. But you got to take in consideration from all the way back from Seth all the way up to now. You have a lot of people that has been keeping the commandments. But then if you take the number of people that's been on this earth compared to the number that was seen in heaven, it's going to be a small remnant. I mean, compared to what it could be or what it should be. And even now, it's going to be a small remnant. Everybody's not going to get this thing. A lot of people don't want it. And a lot of us that's trying to get it, we just gotta really do a better job. And we all have our different things and temptations and different things we go through. Some of us gonna fall, but you got to get back up. I mean, it's not an easy walk, but it's a walk that we all need to do because it gives life. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 4. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be deceived, neither shall they be lacking, says Yahuwah. Behold, the days come, says Yahuwah, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth.
And we know that's the Mashiach, right? Because he's a righteous branch, and he's from the lineage of David, because he made an oath to David about how his seed was going to be on the throne. So it's just that simple. So this is going to be in the new kingdom during the millennium. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 6. In his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name whereby he shall be called, the Elohim, our righteousness.
Right, the Elohim, our righteousness, right? Or the sovereign, our righteousness. So, but you see how in verse 6, he shows you that he just got done telling you up here that he was going to divide them to their foes in verse 3. So Judah, he's showing you one house, and Israel, he's showing you the other house. And he's saying they're going to dwell in safety. Because when you go back to the book of Exodus, they all had their different banners and they all had different camps set up the way Yahuwah wanted them to be set up around the temple, because that was his house. He's always desired to dwell with us. Always. It's just that we end up running him off with our wickedness. And that's a shame. But okay, verse 7. Go ahead, man.
Verse 7. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yah, that they shall no more say, Elohim lives, which brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But Yahuwah lives, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all countries where I had driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land.
Right. So he's just saying he's
My
gonna
heart,
take us. He's gonna take us out of this northern hemisphere and all the other places where he's driven us. Right. And it's a couple of documentaries I had. I'm looking for them. I think they might have took them down. They were real good because they were showing you got people in Lebanon and some of these other places like Afghanistan and all these people, and they still have ancient tablets written on stone in the side of a mountain or something like that with the royal commandments, with the 10 commandments. These people are still keeping the law. So much so was one village. It was a big village too. They didn't play. If you got anything you did wrong, they was going to treat you like you was in Moses' time. They basically was going to kill you. So it's a lot of people. I mean, Israel is scattered all over the place, and you know that because we know that at Samaria, or because of Ephraim, you have a mixture of people all over the place. So we scattered everywhere. Go ahead, brother.
verse 9. My heart within me is broken because of the prophets. All my bones shake. I am like a drunken man and like a man whose wine has overcome because of Yahuwah and because of the words of his set apartness. For the land is full of adulterers, for because of swearing the land mourns. The pleasant places of the wilderness are dry up, and their curse is evil, and their force is not right.
Right, their course is evil and their force is
For
not
both,
right. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
for both prophet and are profane. Yeah, in my house have I found their wickedness, says Elohim.
Right, and that's why he was saying from way going back to when Paul was talking about animal sacrifice. How it could never be like it. First of all, the Most High never liked it in the first place, right? But at the same time, you had men that was over it. So it's going to be profane. This is why the Mashiach became the high priest. He was already of the order of the high priest in the Shamyin, but he came down here. So this is why when John the Baptist baptized him, John the Baptist was a true Levite, not like the Hasmoneans and not like these other Edomites that was running around pretending to be priests. This brother, his mother and his father was showing up priests, and then his father had a duty of lighting the incense in the temple. And we know that you had to be from Aaron's seed to even go inside the temple. Otherwise, you just took up the tent, and you was either doing that or you was somebody that, or you went inside the tent and everything had to be covered up before the other priests went in there, because otherwise they would get killed to help move all the furniture. Aaron's seed was the only one that was able to go inside. So when John the Baptist baptized the Mashiach, he transferred the priesthood to him, because John the Baptist was the high priest. It's just that simple. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 11. For both prophet and priest are profane. Yeah, in my house have I found their wickedness, says Yahuwah. Wherefore their way shall be unto them as slippery ways in the darkness. They shall be driven on and fall therein. For I will bring evil upon them, even the year of their visitation, says Yah. And I have seen Foley in the prophets of Samaria. They prophesy in Baal and cause my people of Israel to ear.
Okay, let's stop right there. I'm going to show y'all something real quick. Okay, let's go here. I'm going to go right here. All right, I'll show y'all something real quick. Okay, let's go right here. Let's go to this blue letter. We're going to go to Jeremiah 23. And what verse was that, Trey? I'm sorry. Oh, 13. So we're going to go here. We're going to come down to 13. This is what he means by that. So when we look at the word Baal, right? He said, and I have seen folly, which means a whole lot of foolishness going on in the prophets of Samaria. Who was Samaria? This was Ephraim's seed. This was the house of Israel. They prophesied in Baal and caused my people Israel to err. And Baal's spirit is still around, because when we look at this, 1168, what does that say right there? It's Lord. So when we be saying, oh, the Lord this and the Lord that, we really calling on Baal or Baal. This is why these devilish scholars took out the name of Yahuwah 6,800 times and put this in there. And then you have these other people, these Jewish people that say, well, we can't call on the name Hashem, so they call him Hashem, which means the name, or Adon. And we're going to talk about that. I'm going to put that up there on the next class, but I'm just trying to show you, this is why we don't use this name, Lord. All right, so let's go ahead and stop this here. I want y'all to see it in case you never saw that before. And we're going to go right back to where we was at. Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Trey. Let's pick it back up, man.
Verse 14. I have seen also in the prophets of Jerusalem a horrible thing. They commit adultery and walk in lies. They strengthen also the hands of evildoers, that none does return from his wickedness. They are all of them unto me as Sodom, and the inhabitants thereof of Gomorrah.
Right. So how do they strengthen the people's hands? They're telling them that you're under grace. Don't worry about nothing. The Lord loves everybody, right? That's what they say. The Lord loves everybody. And maybe he does, maybe Baal does, but that's what they're telling them. So then the people don't take this serious enough and they feel like, okay, I'm under grace, so I can really basically live like I want to. I don't need to keep the commandments. You know what I mean? So this is how they strengthen their hands. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 15. Therefore, thus says Yahuwah, the Elohim of hosts, concerning the prophets. Behold, I will feed them with wormwood and make them drink the water of gall. For from the coast of Jerusalem is profaneness gone forth into all the land. Thus say the Elohim of hosts, listen not unto the words of the prophets. They prophesy unto you. They make you vain. They speak a vision of their own heart and not out of the mouth of Yahuwah.
Right, because Yahuwah telling you got to
They say
obey his
still,
will, right? You got to walk in his way. But they telling you that they telling the people, no, you ain't got to do that. So he's telling you right here, do not listen to these men. Get away from them. I don't care if your grandmother been going to that church for 30 years. You just got, if she can't hear this, you just got to let her go to that church. Leave these people alone. If they're not telling you to keep the commandments, they're not telling you about no feast days, they're not telling you, no holy days, nothing. And telling you under grace, and you ain't got to keep the commandment, you better run from them. But go ahead, brother.
verse 17. They say still unto them that despise me, Yahuwah has said, you shall have peace. And they say unto everyone that walks after the imagination of his own heart, no evil shall come upon you.
Right. See, that's why they strengthen their hand. Jump down to verse 21, brother.
Verse 21. I have not sent these prophets, yet they ran. I have not spoken to them, yet they prophesied. But if they have stood in my counsel and had caused my people to hear my words, when they should have turned them from their evil way and from their evil of their doings.
Okay, jump down to verse 20. No, actually, keep going.
Am I the Elohim at hand, says Yahuwah, and not Elohim afar off? Can any hide himself in secret places that I shall not see him, says Yahuwah? I feel the Maim and the earth, says Yahuwah.
Right. So then he's saying, he's just
I have
showing you
heard
that
what the
he's showing you who he is. But the thing is, his counsel, if you're going to find out what his counsel is, you got to go to Deuteronomy chapter 32. And you start looking up these words that describes how he describes himself, right? He's the rock. I mean, basically, you're going to see when you start looking up them words, using some of the tools we've been giving you, you're going to see it's pointing toward the commandments. That's his counsel. His counsel, when you counsel somebody, you give them instruction and then you give them warnings, right? So he's been counseling us. While we've been up here doing these classes, we have the right counsel. We just have to do it. But I'm just saying this for the people that don't understand that. Go ahead, verse 25. Go ahead, man.
verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said, they prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed.
Mm-hmm.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets? They prophesy lies. Yeah, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
Right. So they fooling them their own self.
Which think to
Because some of them know, some of them notice, and they're not telling the people because they're scared of losing. They don't want to lose their church. And then you got those that just don't know. And instead of them stop being lazy and go try to find this stuff out just by searching the scriptures, submitting to Yahuwah, all of us can learn this. He's not a he doesn't have any he's not a in other words, everybody he'll treat him the same. He's no respect of persons. If you follow his counsel, his instructions, then he's gonna start showing you this stuff. You get baptized in his name like you're supposed to, the Ruach gonna come and it's gonna open all the way up. But if you don't do that, then you're gonna be stuck in your own imagination, thinking that you saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, and that you're gonna fly off and go to heaven. It's just that simple. Go ahead, my brother.
Verse 27. Which think to cause my people to forget my name by their dreams, which they tell every man to his neighbor, as their fathers have forgotten my name for Baal.
That's when they have forgotten the name, because right now, you try to tell somebody about the name of Yahuwah, you know, some people even say Yahweh Shai, ain't nothing wrong with that as far as I'm concerned. You know what I mean? But this Lord thing, it just is what it is. So the people have forgotten that. Or you talk to somebody and you tell them, you say Yahshua, Yahushua, or first thing they said, what Jesus said, like this guy used to do all the time. Every word he kept saying Jesus. I guess he was trying to, I don't know what he was supposed to be doing for me, but I was just looking at him, you know what I'm saying? But it's just a trip. But I guess it's hard when you've been, once been in this thing or whatever you in for so long, and then somebody comes and give you something new. I mean, you only have two choices. Either you're gonna stay in your own vain imagination, or you're gonna go do the research. And once you do the research and see that it's true, then either you're gonna accept it or you're not. But just know when you say this, you keep talking about the Lord, this is who you're talking about. Go ahead, brother, verse 28.
Verse 28. The prophet that has a dream, let him tell a dream. And he that has my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat, says Yahuwah?
It's nothing, because it's going to go into the fire. The chaff to the wheat is nothing. That's when they take that fan and they separate everything. And then the Mashiach told you he was gonna bring a fan. He's gonna be on that floor. That's when they take the chaff and they throw it up in the air, and the wheat flows away. The chaff flows away. They keep the wheat, put it in the barn, which is the Father's house. Then they go ahead and they they burn the chaff up because it ain't worth nothing. Go ahead, man.
Is not my word like a fire, says Yahuwah, and like a hammer that breaks the rock in pieces?
Right, his word is powerful. Go ahead.
Therefore, behold, I am against the prophets, says Yahuwah, that steal my words, everyone from his neighbor. Behold, I am against the prophets, says Yahuwah, that use their tongues and say, he says.
Right, the Lord told me.
Behold, I am against them.
Yeah, we've all heard that. The Lord told me to tell you. Right? Or the Holy Spirit visited me last night and told me to let y'all know. Go ahead, brother.
Behold, I am against them that prophesy false dreams, says Yahuwah. Do tell them and cause my people to err by their lies and by their lightnings. Yet I sent them out or commanded them. Therefore, they shall not profit this people at all, says Yahuwah.
Okay, we're going to stop right there. If y'all want to read the rest of this, you can. But we're going to stop right here. Let's go to John chapter 14 now. John chapter 14. I just want y'all to kind of get that in your mind so you can see this thing. John chapter 14. And verse 12 through 21. Neighbor, do you want to read?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to read John chapter 14, verse 12 through 21.
Most assuredly, I say to you, he who believes in me, the works that I do, he will do also. And greater works than these he will do, because I go to my Father.
Right. And he's going to send you the Ruach. He's getting ready to show you that. Go ahead, sister.
And whatever you ask in my name, that I will do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son.
Right. So you asking this in the right name, then the Father gonna do it for you. But you got to ask in the right name. And there's something else he's gonna show you that you got to be doing. Go ahead, sister.
If you ask anything in my name, I will do it. If you love me, keep my commandments, and I will pray the Father, and he will give you another helper, that he may abide with you forever.
Mm-hmm. See, that's how you get it. That's how you get this Ruach. That's how you get the Holy Spirit. If you keep his commandments. Go ahead.
The Spirit of truth, whom the world cannot receive, because it neither sees him nor knows him, but you know him, for he dwells with you and will be in you.
Mm-hmm.
I will not leave you orphans. I will not come to you. I will come to you a little while longer, and the world will see me no more, but you will see me, because I live. You will live also.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead.
At that day, you will know that I am in my Father, and you in me.
Now, what does he mean by that? Well, hold on 1 minute, Nate. Now, what does he mean by that? Can anybody tell me?
What was the question? Believes in what?
He said in that day. Go ahead and read that again, Nate.
At that day, you will know that I am in my Father, and you in me, and I in you.
What does he mean by that? Somebody get your blue letter Bible and look up that word "in" real quick.
That means we'll all be one.
Exactly. It means that you together, y'all. This is why we keep the commandments, because we trying to be one. See, we trying to be commandments. See, this is what it is. The commandments teach you about the Father and the Elohim, and it shows you their nature. So by the more you keep practicing keeping these commandments and practicing these righteous acts, you start to become like them. And that's the whole goal in the mind. So if you can hear, go ahead. Somebody said something.
Yeah, be of one mindset. You're all on one accord.
One accord, one mindset, and that's going to be very, very important to remember as we get down when we start exploring the word akkad. Okay, Nay, where you stop at?
At that day, all right. Verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
He who has my commandments and keep them, it is he who loves me, and he who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I will love him and manifest myself to him.
Right, he's going to show you himself. You're going to know for a fact he's real. Jump down to verse 23 and read through 26, Nate.
Yeshua answered and said to him, if anyone loves me, he will keep my word, and my Father will love him, and we will come to him and make our home with him.
Mm-hmm.
He who does not love me does not keep my words. The word which you hear is not mine, but the Father's who sent me.
Mm-hmm.
These things I have spoken to you while being present with you. But the Helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things and bring to your remembrance all things that I said to you.
Right. Now, so we got to make sure that this is right. Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 7. And Read verse 9 through 11, Nate. I'm going to show y'all this because that's what people got in their mind for some reason that for some reason that this New Testament is like a brand new book. But you got to remember, he just told you he got that from his father, right? If you watch the class on the Almighty, you already know that this was him and back here in the old part of the book teaching you, right? Teaching the people. Go ahead and give me Deuteronomy chapter 7. Start at verse 6 and then jump down 9 through 11.
Okay. For you are a holy people to Yah, your Elohim.
Yahuwah Elohim have chosen thee. Go ahead, you all right.
Has chosen to be a people for himself, a special treasure above all the peoples on the face of the earth.
Right, and when I said he doesn't have any respect of person, he doesn't. The problem is he made a covenant with these people. Whoever these, which we already know is Israel, but he made a covenant with them. And then we had strangers that was out there too. So as long as they kept the covenant, they was good too. They was and when he comes back, we still gonna go right back to the same position. For those that keep the commandments, you're gonna be a special people to him. You're gonna be a chosen people to him. How are you chosen? Because first of all, if the Father don't draw you, you can't come. And when the Father draw you, if you walk in his word, right, which we know that means live, it's a way to live, you live in his word, you're gonna be straight. Jump down to verse 9 and read through 11, neighbor.
Therefore I know that Yah, your Elohim, is
Elohim,
the faithful Elohim, who keeps covenant and mercy for 1,000 generations with those who love him and keep his commandments.
Mm-hmm.
And he repays those who hate him to their face to destroy them. He will not be slack with him who hates him. He will repay him to his face.
Right, so he's gonna repay those to their face. So you're not saying you refuse to use his name, you his enemy. You refuse to keep the commandments, you his enemy. And he gonna pay you back. He ain't gonna sneak around and do it. He gonna pay you back to your face. All right, so read one more verse down there.
Therefore you shall keep the commandment, the statutes, and the judgments which I command you today to observe them.
Exactly. So he told you that back then. He came in the flesh, and he just got done telling you the same thing again. So not only are they one family, he's trying to show us how we can be in them, so we can have the same mindset and be one family too. All right, let's go to Job now, chapter 9, verse 24. We ain't in no rush. Job 9 and 24. And this is the problem that a lot of us have. I be struggling too now. Don't think I don't. I be struggling myself. Trust me. I just, with this thing, you got to bounce back. You got to get up and you got to keep trying to walk. You got to keep climbing that mountain. I'm going to read this one. Everybody, Nate, go on mute. Everybody go on mute. All right. Job chapter 9 and verse 24 says, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So we know that this world is in the hands of Hasatan. And all the people that serve him are the ones that a lot of people wish they could be. Right? You love their lifestyle, the way they eat, how they can do what they freely want to do. But you just got done reading that those that don't keep his commandments, he's going to pay them back to their face. So let's keep going now. All right. So when we look at this word of Yahuwah, right, looking at the symbols here, or the Hebrew alphabet, right, and I put it in pictorial form. Let's break down the whole thing using the alphabet, what the name Yahuwah means. Now, what he's saying is through a divine order of the Father. Now, I ain't even got to read nothing. I could just know this by just looking at the oath, right? Let's see where I'm at. Yeah. Let's see. Through a divine order of the Father, action must be taken to fulfill his will and ultimate plan. A divine deed, there's a hand, must take place to save creation, which we know this hand or the strong arm is Yeshua or Yahusha, right? To recall the goodness of our Yahuwah. Look up and be in awe, behold greatness, right here, that's the hey, right? Behold your supreme who reveals to his servants his plan to reconnect man, right? That's the Vav, which is the number value 6, and it's basically it's talking about man, right? To reconnect man to himself by the nail and the hand, which we know was a Mashiach, that he did that to save man from his imperfection, his weakness. What is wrong with this thing? And sorrow. Therefore, we are to learn the alphabet and the heavenly language, so you can't be duped or tricked by Hasatan's theologians. So let's keep rolling. In all the works of Ab Yahuwah, we find not only what we call law and a lawmaker, but we also observe a law enforcer. This is the curses out of enforcer. And we still can't figure this out for some reason, right? We know something is wrong. We just won't accept the answer for it. And we've marched and we've done all sit-ins and starved ourselves and all kind of things. And this stuff is still going on. They just got done killing another black kid. So, I mean, it's not going to stop. We speak of laws, but they are nothing in themselves. They have no being. They possess no power. They cannot make themselves or carry themselves out. So the law cannot save you. You have to save you by keeping them. What we mean when we speak of law in word or nature is simply this: Yahuwah in action. When you look outside and you see these animals and how the trees grow, everything is done on time. When spring started coming, if you got a garden, you started seeing stuff coming up out the ground because it's obedient, it's alive. And when Yahuwah gives the word, it wakes up and now it's coming back out to display itself however he created it. Whether it's food, whether it's a flower, whatever, it comes out, it puts on its show, then it dies and goes back in its ground. Every spring it resurrects because that's the order, that's the law of the plants. The law of the birds, the law of everything is law and everything, but you have to obey it for it to work for you, right? Most people are sheeple. They don't think for themselves and are easy to lead astray if you tickle their ears. You would think if you go to church or a temple and you say you believe in the Bible as a word of a creator, wouldn't or shouldn't you realize that your eternal life was on the line? It seems to me that you would do all you could to diligently search out all truth connected with this Bible and the creator you say you believe in. Lack of action shows that most don't really believe. All right. These days, most would rather believe a man's word more than they do the sacred words of Elohim. When it comes to the law or anything dealing with the law that comes from the mouth of Yahuwah, they can't grasp the reality of it. They rebel against it, being ruled by their flesh. They say, you can't keep those old laws. Or sometimes you hear them say, you must be a Muslim. You don't eat pork, you must be a Muslim. Or, you keep the Sabbath day, you must be a 7-day Adventist, especially when you adhere to the dietary and Sabbath command. Yahuwah put law all through his creation, his thoughts, his actions to govern this world, not to punish it, and to bring us closer to his nature and help you move away from the worship of the right in my own eyes syndrome, symptoms of lukewarm worship. Ab Yahuwah desires to dwell with his creation, not destroy it. The law is love and it's amazing. It corrects, but it truly does through Yahusha. Give life and govern all creation. And we're going to show you this. All right, so let's keep rolling. Now, when we look at the word law, the word, again, like I've been telling y'all, these scholars, they took out the word Torah and put the word law there. So now when people see the word law, the first thing oh man, that's that law, or the law this, or the law that. But it's just Torah. And the word Torah means law, directions, the instructions, to teach, to direct, to instruct. They're instructions on how to carry out the Father's will, because the Father's will must be done. Also, we have 5 other characteristics. It's a body of prophetic teaching. That's what the prophets kept coming back telling the people. Look, man, y'all tripping. Come on, get back up on your covenant. Come on, start walking in the instructions, right? Instruction in the Messianic age. We just got done showing you, if you went up there and looked at the Almighty, who was the one that gave the instructions in the first place and who came and walked in the instructions and told you the same thing, right? We know it was Yahshua, right? Instruction in the Messianic age. And it's going to be later on in the kingdom as well. Number 4, a body of priestly directions or instructions. So people, sometimes when Paul is talking, if you don't understand Paul's writings, you will think he's talking about the Torah instructions instead of the law of the priesthood, because the priesthood had a law. So people are saying, man, it's 613 laws. That's a lot of laws, but all 613 ain't got nothing to do with you. That's why I had y'all go back and read Exodus chapter 20 through, I think, 23 or 24. Those are the mitzvahs. Those are the judgments. And the judgments teach you how to treat your neighbor and how to treat the Most High. That's why when the Mashiach came, what did he say? The greatest two of these is love Elohim with all your heart, mind, and soul. Love your neighbor as yourself. That's all. All the rest, some of these other things, you ain't slaughtering no calves. You ain't got no temple how you supposed to light the candles or handle light the menorah or handle the showbread. You ain't doing none of that. So that has nothing to do with you. Number 5, law of the burnt offering. Number 6, the Deuteronomic or Mosaic law. Just that simple. So when we look at the word truth, we can go to Psalms 119 and 142. Thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth, or thy Torah is the truth. Righteousness and truth go hand in hand. Uprightness and truth go hand in hand. The just and truth, they go hand in hand. So when Paul is saying these things, he's steady telling you the same thing, but we just been so trained by these wicked prophets and priests that we don't have to do that no more. And they making you feel comfortable, and they strengthening the hand of the wicked. Now, let's go ahead and get down into this council. Here, up on this diagram, we have Ab Yahuwah's loyal council. Number 1, divine beings. Number 2, children of light, messengers of light, who are the Malaks, right? And then you have striving to be Elohim. Let's go to Luke chapter 13 and 24 now. If I'm moving too fast, somebody say something.
Saul,
Yes.
when you were saying Malak, I'm not familiar with that saying.
What they call angel.
Oh, okay, messengers.
Messengers, exactly.
Oh, Malak. Okay.
Malak, sometimes you'll hear Malakim. That means more than one, but yes, the messengers.
Oh, okay.
I should have said that. Thank you, sister, but
That's
that's what that means, right? So let's look at Luke 13 and 24. That was a good question too. He's telling you, strive to enter into at the straight gate, for many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in and shall not be able. When once the master of the house is risen up and has shut the door, and you begin to stand outside and knock at the door, saying, Sovereign, sovereign, open unto us. And he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not whence you are. All right? Then they shall begin to say, we have eaten and drunk in thy presence, and thou hast taught in our and taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence you are. Depart from me, all you workers of iniquity. So who can tell me what the word iniquity is? Using the Bible Hub or the blue letter.
Transgression of the law.
Transgression of the law. So exactly, there you go. So if you work in iniquity, that means you're not keeping the commandments like he just got done telling you. So you're not going to get in the kingdom, because that's what he's saying, because he's in his father's house, right? We going back to the father's house. You can't get in the father's house because he's going to do like he did in the days of Noah. He's going to close the door himself. That's what didn't the book say that? Say he closed the door on the ark, not Noah. So if you don't understand this, this is going to be your fate. So let's look at this here. So at the top we have Ab Yahuwah, right? The Father. Then next we have Yahuwah Elohim, the Son. And we're going to show you that the Ruach is around here too. We're gonna show you out of a book that I think it's Jubilee. No, maybe it's Ecclesiasticus says that she sits by the Father's throne as well. So then you have, of course, we know that's a symbol for Yahusha. You have the sons of Yah, which are princes, right? Or B'nai. The word B'nai means sons, because sometimes people are gonna say, well, see, that's when they're gonna try to use Job to say that doesn't mean when he said that the sons of Elohim presented themselves, and Satan came also. When you look up that word sons, it's going to say B'nai, which it means that they are sons and that they were messengers. Because other books tell us that you have a messenger that's with you all the time. And that messenger reports on what you do daily. Daily. So when the book says his eyes are everywhere, they are everywhere. So then, you, of course, the sons out of Malachim, the messengers. Then you have man down here. Man is on the beast level. So why do we say that? Well, Solomon said that we liken to beasts, right? And then also, the other thing is we do things in a beastly manner because beasts react on emotions. Yah does not react on emotions. So when somebody gets mad, their emotions and the spirit that's talking to them, they kill you, right? I mean, they do a whole lot of other beastly things, right? Raping these little kids, breaking in on old people, beating them up, robbing them, all these things, right? Attacking people for no reason. So this divine counsel is how the cosmos are directed. But the master of all of this is Ab Yahuwah, all right? So we're going to go look at something real quick. I want to show y'all something else, and we're going to show y'all another tool that we like to use, council members in rebellion. Let's go look at Deuteronomy chapter 32. I want to show y'all something here. And this is, hold on a minute. Let me do this here real quick. Let me escape. And we're going to stop this year, and then we're going to go to a new share. And we're going to come up here. We're going to kill this for right now. Open it back up. And we're going to come right here. And we're going to say QBible.com. I'm going to look at this chapter. I just want to show y'all something and what's really going on. And how we got to keep trying to protect ourselves. Because these spirits, man, they something else. They are something else. So let's get there. It's going to get there. Okay. This thing running. Okay, there we go. So now, again, you see all the different type of Bibles that you have up here for free. You even have the Apocrypha up here if you don't have one. You have the King James parallel. You have the 1611. That's the 1611, right? Parallels with 1769. Also, there is no letter J in here, so you will not find that other name in here. You have the Aramaic parallel, which is the Peshitta, right? And it's going to give you it's supposed to be translated from the Aramaic language, right? And then you're going to come down here and you have your different ERV, ASV, Holy Name, King James plus Holy Name, Hebrew Bible. And then you have this LXX Septuagint, which was rewritten or was what they did when this was translated. It was translated during the Greek captivity because you had Hebrews back then that had forgot all about the name. They had forgot their heritage and everything, and they was Greeks. They was Hellenized. They became Greeks. So something kind of like it is right now. You got people they Americans. You can't tell them that they're not Americans, even though the Constitution tells you that you're 3/5 of a man, even though you keep getting killed and ain't nothing happening. Then you go down and burn down your part of the city and all these things, and it still has nothing changed because of who you are and the covenant that your ancestors made. But we ain't gonna wait for that. So we want to go into this LXX Septuagint. Then we said Deuteronomy chapter 32. So we're going to go down there. And I want to show y'all why we use this. Now you have both translations, right? On both sides. You have the LXX on this side and King James Version on this side. So here, instead of saying Yahuwah, they put Yahweh. And we're going to find out at the last leg of this, who did this, all right? But they do have Elohim here. All right, let's go. I'm going to start at verse 1. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 1. Attend, O heavens, and I will speak, and let the earth hear the words of my mouth. Let my speech be looked for as the rain, and my words come down as dew, as a shower upon the herbage, and as snow upon the grass. For I have called the name of Yahuwah, assign ye greatness to our Elohim. As for Elohim, now you see how on this side that's there, right? But over here, they switched it. He is the rock. It's in parentheses, so they added that. They added this too. right? And all his ways are judgment. Elohim is faithful, and there is no unrighteousness in him. We know that righteousness means keeping the commandments, so there's no unrighteousness in him, right? So that means he's going to keep doing what he's done in him. Just and just, there's that word right there again. We keep telling you about that. Paul uses all the time. And set apart is Yahuwah. They have sinned, not pleasing him, spotted children, a forward and perverse generation. Do you thus recompense Yahuwah? Is people foolish and unwise? Did not he himself, thy father, purchase thee and make thee and form thee? So he did purchase them from the Pharaoh, right? And then he came again, and then he put it out there. If you want to be purchased, he already paid the ultimate price. Remember the days of old. But Dave, why should we remember the days of old? Because that's for your example. And consider the years for past ages. Ask thy father, and he shall relate to thee, thine elders, and they shall teach thee. This is what the elders supposed to be doing. You're not supposed to be sitting up there with no gaiters on in a new suit and just clapping and jumping around. And he's supposed to be teaching you the ways of Yahuwah. Now watch this here. Now let's go on this side first. Follow the cue. Now, in your Bible, it says, when El Elyon divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of children of Israel. Now, that's what it says in the King James. But in the original writing, it says, when the Most High divided the nations, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the nations according to the number of what? Messengers of Elohim. Now, why did he do that? Because of the fact that these demons, and we're going to get to that when we get to Hasatan, these devils, you have, that's why it says principalities and powers in high places. We know that the men are part of that, but you have spirits that have different parts of the world that they're over, that they rule. When you look up these words, principalities and powers, you're going to see that, right? Because remember, Michael was fighting, right? We have he gives you different views of this type of stuff. When Michael was trying to bring, Gabriel was trying to bring the message to Daniel, he was held up. It wasn't Michael, because Michael would have fought him off, but it was Gabriel. So he held him up from bringing, because he had to fight through the principalities and powers in the air. But he set these different malachim or messengers, in other words, to fight against these other spirits that's in these different places that they have their different compounds or whatever you want to call it set up in the air. Because if you really notice, it's wickedness all in the whole earth. And how's it gonna get that way? Because these spirits they're real, and they have their own territories that they over. And we can show you that, but we're not gonna do that right now, right? And his people, verse 9, and his people, Jacob, became the portion of Yahuwah. Israel was the line of his inheritance. This is what we have to understand. He maintained him in the wilderness, in burning, thirst, and dry land. He led him about and instructed him. See, there we go. How did he instruct him? By giving him his commandments, and kept him as the apple of his eye. Israel and everybody that kept the commandments would just understand that. And because he will fight for us if everybody just turned to him at one time, oh man. As an eagle would watch over his brood and yearns over his young, receives them having spread wings, he takes them up on his back. And Yahuwah alone led them, and there was no strange Elohim with them. These strange Elohim are the children of the fallen Nephilim, right? All right, but we're going to stop right there. I just want to show y'all that real quick. Now let's go to the next one. All right, hold on a minute. Let me come out of this. We're going to stop. Come on now. We're going to stop this share. We're going to get a new one. All right. All right, now. So the other one we want to look at is Psalms chapter 82. Let's go there in our Bible. All right. Now I'm going to read this one. Psalms chapter 82, we're going to start at verse 1. It says, Elohim standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judges among the Elohims. Okay, so there's some other mighty ones up there, right? And we some other Elohims up here. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Defend the poor and fatherless, do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy, rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. This is part of the problem. This is another part of the problem. The earth is out of course. This is why you haven't, I mean, beside him saying that he was going to send the tempest, right? The earth is out of course. That's why when people say, well, see, that's why you're going to know when the Mashiach or the Messiah is going to come back, because you can't tell summer from winter and all that. No. First of all, that ain't even no scripture. Second of all, this is why the earth is out of course. I have said, you are Elohim, and all you are children of the Most High, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes, right? Arise, O Elohim, judge the earth, for thou shalt inherit all the nations. So I remember back when I was studying with the 5%ers, that was our thing. See right there, see, we are gods. And I got some videos up there about them. I put some different videos up there in the biography section, because I used to be with all them things that you see up there. I was doing all that. You know what I mean? But he's talking about these spirits. He's talking about these other spirits, like the ones that are rolling with Hasatan. Right? Let's go to 1 Corinthians now, chapter 8. Because he told me we're going to die like men. Right? And watch this here. 1 Corinthians. Yeah, I did a lot of different things, trying to find this thing. And I finally found what I needed. All right. Now, this is what Paul is saying. 1 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 5. We're going to read down to verse 6. It says, for though there be that are called Elohims, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be Elohims many and sovereigns many. But to us there is but one Elohim, the Father, of whom all are all things, and we in him, and one sovereign, Yahushua HaMashiach, by whom all are all things, and we by him. Just that simple. So there's plenty of gods out here. There's plenty of, we just got done showing you one, Baal, but there's a lot more of them. There's plenty of gods out here. So you just can't say, God said, well, okay, who are you talking about? Which God is you talking about? You saying God said, who are you talking about? You got to be definitive. This is why, it's another reason why we use this name. You can't just say God, because I don't know who you're talking about. There's a whole lot of them out here. Man, I did that. I found that because I wanted to make sure, because I know we had these, when the brother was telling me, the Paulites, they calling them now. Because they really believe that Paul's writings or whatever Paul say is more stronger than what the Father say, not really realizing what Paul is really telling you, because we showed you that Paul is keeping these commandments. He was teaching them too. Every word of it he said, right? Not so, I mean, but the people that got it twisted. So in Genesis chapter 1:1, it said Elohim created the heaven and the earth, right? And this word is Elohim, right? Aleph, Lamed, right? Hey, the Yod and the Mem. So when we put it all together, Elohim, right? The Aleph, strong leader, emperor, the champion. The Lamed, which represents the Mashiach, because if I flip it over like this, what does it look like? A shepherd's staff. It's all there. It's all there. So we had a Lamed, shepherd, that speaks with authority. How does he speak with authority? Because he gets authority from the Father. You have the Hay, to reveal or to be in awe. Work done by the strong arm, which we know again is Mashiach, and Mem is the waters of life. That when you break down Elohim, that's exactly what it's telling you. All right. Now, when we look at also Elohim, we see it's H number 0433. Elohim, all right? Hebrew word study, transliteration, pronunciation, etymology, and grammar. It's something else I meant to show y'all too on that Q letter. But we'll get back to that, because this, I mean, like I say, until you can get your hands on your own Thayers and these different Strong's concordances and all that, you can use these tools. They're up there for free, and they got so much information you can get off of them, right? Hebrew word study, transliteration, pronunciation, etymology, and grammar. Number one, plural, 1A. It means that they're Elohim means rulers. It means judges, divine ones. Okay, messengers, right? Also Elohims, plural intensive, singular meaning, Elohim. And you have goddesses, right? We know Nike is a goddess, right? See, it doesn't matter if they're still in the Shamyin. If they are spirit, they are Elohim. So the spirit of Nike is running around. People be buying. I don't know if they still buy them, but I know at one time Nike was a big deal with the little swoosh. But when you do your research and you find out that that is a goddess, godlike one, works or special possessions of Elohim, the true Elohim, right? Now in the Brown Drivers Briggs, which is this is a real good tool to have too, real good tool. Even if, because see with this, if you whenever you learn the alphabet, then you can get you a Brown Drivers Briggs because you'll be able to understand it. But until then, until you get the alphabet down, guess what? Somebody put this up here for you, right? So he's telling you plural of these from the same. He's trying to show you it's from the same source. Same source, H0433. He said gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used in the plural thus, especially with the article, of the supreme God, occasionally applied by way of deference to magistrates, and sometimes as a superlative, angels, exceeding, God, gods, right? It's all there. So this is what the Elohim is. If there was a spirit, whether they up in the Shamyin, they up in the heavens, or they walking around here deceiving men on earth, they are Elohim. And you have to understand that Satan is part of the Elohim. That's how come Job told you the sons of Elohim came to report. Guess what? He came to report too. So he don't have no special power. He on a leash. Because I'm gonna show you, we're gonna show you whenever something has to be done, especially when it's wickedness, since Yahuwah don't do no wickedness, these jokers can't wait to do it for him. And we're gonna show you that. So you have to understand that. Okay, so now let's put it all together. The emperor has a thought and he wills it to be. That's Ab Yahuwah. The shepherd and voice of authority speaks it into reality. That by the power of the Father creates all things. That's Yahuwah Elohim. When we talk about Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 through 10, we're going to show you that. The Ruach, who is, y'all know is the Holy Spirit, reveals it. Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach puts it together by moving over it, right? Let's go to Genesis chapter 1 and look at this.
So
Yes.
I'm having a little bit of problems of wondering why the word Elohim can be used for our Father, but also for like idols and demons and stuff, right?
Well, because they're gods. Okay, let's go back up here and look at this again.
Well, I guess it's because in my, coming up and everything, I assumed that God, of course, was the Father until I learned that, that was not his name. And I always called demons and that other stuff, I look down upon them as like idols.
Well, they are idols. So really, this is why when we go back and read the book of Jubilees, you had, and you go back and just look at ancient cultures, you had these spirits they would actually go and live inside this idol, and people be praying to it. Or they're the ones that give them the idea to form the idol in the first place. So you got to remember, if they're a spirit, they are Elohim.
Okay, so all spirits, no matter what, is Elohim.
Right, they're Elohim. Okay. Because you got to remember, Hasatan, he wasn't always wicked. From our other classes, what was his job? Can you remember?
He was in charge of worship, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right. What else did he do?
Guard the throne.
Yeah, he guarded the throne. And what did he wear around his neck?
The jewels.
That's right. The priest, he had the priestly breastplate. But guess what? It only had 9 stones though, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So, but he got thrown out, and the ones that follow him got thrown out. But they still Elohim. You understand?
Why only 9 stones?
We're gonna get to that during the class. I gotta keep rolling, but don't worry, I got him set up. I got that set up. But because he's part of the Elohim, and we're gonna have to go through this too about him.
Okay, thank you.
But the 12 stones represent the 12 tribes. So I'm gonna say it like that. I'm gonna leave it alone, but we gonna definitely get to that. I promise you, Brother Noel. But that's what the Elohim is all spirit, period. That's it. And it's a guy up here, Dr. Michael Heisler. I'm gonna find that video. He does a real good job on it too. I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna put it up on the site for y'all and anybody else who wants to look at it. So let me go to Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 through 10. Everybody there? Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1. In the beginning, Yahuwah created the heavens and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of Elohim moved upon the face of the water. That's the Ruach, right? That's right. That's the Ruach. That's the spirit of Elohim. And we're going to show you when we get to the Akkad part that they do everything alike. Because sometimes it's going to say, because of the spirit of the Father and the spirit of the Son, you know, it's going to make it seem like it's not going to really be confusing, but you just got to pay attention, right? And Yahuwah said, let there be light, and there was light. And Yahuwah saw the light, that it was good, and Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning was the first day, right? So, like I said, right here, we ain't even got to go no further, but it's just, I just wanted you to see that little part. But the spirit of Elohim, which is the Ruach, the spirit of Yahusha is the Ruach. Even when he came, who could tell me how many spirits he was filled with when John, after John baptized him and the Ruach HaKodesh floated down on him like a dove? Y'all don't remember?
Was it 7?
Exactly, it was 7. See, y'all right. Well, y'all making me feel good. Y'all learning something. All right.
We got a great teacher.
I don't know about all that. I try. It's just say, yeah, praise Yah. Now, let's look at this. Ab Yahuwah, El Elyon, right? Which means the Almighty, the Supreme, right? Elohim of hosts. And there's something else I want to show y'all too. In Genesis right here, when it says, let there be light, that's the word or. That light ain't nothing but the commandments. You can go to Proverbs and see that. So the commandments been here from the very beginning. This is how the patriarchs, they was keeping the commandments. Noah, and people say, well, it's the Melchizedek, order. Yes, it's that. They was taught that too, but still, light is commandments. Light equals Torah from the very beginning. I was in a VA hospital, and this lady was talking. She really started trying to argue. And she was going to the same thing she had been taught by these false prophets. I'm like, well, that's Moses' law. I said, well, let's go over here to Genesis chapter 26. She said, okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna read. She read it, and she was like, and the way she looked on her face, I just looked, I said, what's wrong? Because here go Abraham, now she's trying to figure out, was Abraham here before? She was messed up, because she was like, was Abraham here before Moses? I said, now, come on. Now, how could Abraham do all this stuff right here? And Moses wasn't even born then. He walked away. The fact is, they've been here from the very beginning. So Ab Yahuwah El Elyon, Elohim of hosts, wills and things to be done as he specifies. Yahuwah, Yahusha, right? Yah saves. That's what his name means. Yahusha, Yah saves. The B'nai, the captain of Yahuwah's host, carries out all plans of the El Elyon without fail. This is why he was rewarded like he was rewarded, because he came and did everything he was supposed to do. The Ruach is the spoken word of Yahuwah. She builds as a master craftsman all things instructed of her and teaches and guides man to all truth. Now, I noticed up on the thing, we had about 30 people that was coming up there. And I know I said, I don't know if it was, I'm hoping it ain't because of when I said she, because I can prove that we showed y'all in one of the other videos, it's a feminine noun. It's a feminine noun. When it got to the New Testament, like we steady been doing in our investigation, these lying scholars, they made it a he. But then when you look up that word, it says he or she. So which is it? They know it's a she. But this male dominance thing, I guess at that time when they was doing these translations, especially back in King James time. But you know, some Hebrew classes you go to, the sisters can't even say a word, and that ain't what Paul was talking. Paul was talking about a specific lady that was causing problems, because you had women that did different things in this book, especially even in the New Testament. Right? All right, let's go. So we don't do that around here, not at all. Now, John 14:15-31 says, if you love me, keep my commandments. So the word keep here, right? The word keep, if we look that up, it's going to mean to guard the commandments. We need to guard our salvation and gifts because they are precious. Everything we are depends on it. And robbers will come in many forms. Family, fake, so-called friends. I keep trying to tell, man, you got to watch that one. Your job and even you. The rich guard their precious stones in their lives. Shouldn't we? I think we should. Now let's look at this. Now I know this is kind of seems like a whole lot up here, but we're gonna break it down page by page. But I'm gonna start up here. Y'all follow my cursor. Yahuwah the Father, this is his court or council in the heavens. You have the four beasts, or I like to call them the four living ones, right? They're Elohim. Then you have the mighty seraphim. They're Elohim. You have the cherubs, right? They're Elohim. You have the Ruach HaKodesh. She is a craftsman who builds the creation, teaches the creation, and guides the creation. We just got done seeing, and we, like I say, when we get to the section on the card, you're gonna really understand. It's gonna open up a whole lot for you, right? Then you have the messengers, the protectors, the reporters, the eyes, the workers, or they use this word angels. I put it down there, but I'm gonna show you after today, we're not gonna use that no more because I'm gonna show you where that came from. Then you have the King of Glory, the Supreme Emperor, right? You have the 7 lampstands, right? That represent who can tell me? Yeah, I just said, yes, Kim, you just answered the question when I asked you how many spirits that Yahshua was filled with.
7 spirits.
7 spirits.
Yes, of the most.
All right, I represent the 7 lampstands. Then you had the Father gave the Son the blueprint for creation. And he's the only one that can open up the scroll. He's the master of the books, right? Yahshua got a lot of different jobs. He's the master of the books. So you have the book of life. Who can tell me one more other book?
The book of remembrance.
That's right, the book of remembrance. How do you get in that book?
By saying anything about the Father, speaking of him, telling others about him, thinking about him.
Well, girl, Kim, you on fire today. All right, then we got I know she always on fire, I know. Then you have the covenant, right? Because he's the giver of the covenant, which is the 10 commandments or the tablets of testimony. So when he says, you have not listened to my testimonies, this is one of the things he's talking about. Right? Then you have the Lamb. He's Elohim, King of Kings. Yahuwah the Son brings us back into covenant. That's why he came to die, to put us back up under the covenant if we obey and keep it. Right? Because we know Jeremiah 31:31 says, in the new kingdom, he's going to write this stuff in your mind. You don't have to have nobody teach you this no more. You're going to know it. Then you have the army or the host. You have the seven princes, the 7 spirits, right? And you have the 24 elders, all these who stand in the emperor's presence. Let's go to Enoch chapter 20 and look at this. And Trey, I'm gonna get you, no, you know what, Noel, I'm gonna get you to read this one, Enoch chapter 20. Because I know you got it. I know you got it.
You want me to read it, honey? He's driving to work.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Enoch chapter 20, verse 1.
Yeah, start at verse 1.
These are the names of the angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels, who is over Clamor and Terra.
Mhm.
Clamor. and
Mm-hmm.
Terah.
Mm-hmm.
Raphael, one of the holy angels who is over the Ruach of men. Regel, one of the holy angels who inflicts punishment on the world and the luminaries. Michael, one of the holy angels who is over mankind, virtue, commands the nations. Sarakai, one of the holy angels who is over the Ruach of the children of men that transgress. Gabriel, one of the holy angels who is over the serpents, over paradise, and over the, not how you pronounce that.
Do your best.
Cherubim?
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Just say it how it comes out.
Cherubim?
That's
Not
fine.
sure.
That's fine. Now we see this, right? So we had the 7 princes that stand in his presence, right? But we know that they can't look at him, right? There's nobody, right? We had the elders, they sit in his presence all around the throne. We're going to show you that, right? And then you have the Mashiach. He's the one, he can walk straight up to the Father, be all up in his light. Because we're going to remember we read before in Revelation chapter 5 how he took the scroll, right? Let's go to Revelation chapter 5. We're going to start at 4. Let's go to Revelation chapter 4. We're going to read 4, 5, and 6, and 22. But we looked at this a long time ago. And then we're going to break each one of them down like they're supposed to be. Revelation chapter 4. I'm going to read this one. Nay, you're going to read chapter 5. Trey, you're going to read chapter 6. After this, I looked, and I behold, a door was opened in the heavens. And the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, come up hither, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter. Now we know that, well, he's going to say it down here. And verse 2, and immediately I was in the spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. So we know he had to be in the spirit because he could not be in the presence without burning up. Because these Elohim are fire, pure fire. All right. Now, verse 3, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a sardine stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne in sight, like unto an emerald. And round about the throne were 24 elders. And upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting clothed in white raiment, which represents righteousness, right? And they had on their heads crowns of gold. That's why when you talk about this white raiment, that's why we have to try to do these commandments. Again, if you fall, just get up. You know what I mean? Because if you fall, just get back up. That's all you can do, because you got to try to dust that smudge off that garment. Because at the feast, the wedding feast of the Lamb, if you show up with a dirty, wrong garment on, you're gonna get hog tied, right? They said they're gonna tie you with your hand and feet, and they're gonna throw you out in the outer darkness, which we know is a lake of fire. And out of the throne proceeded lightnings and thunderings and voices. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of Elohim. And before the throne, there was a sea of, let me see, I'm sorry. There was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne and round about the throne were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. The first beast was like a lion, right? And the second beast like a calf. The third beast had a face of a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle. And the 4 beasts had each of them 6 wings about him. And they were full of eyes within, and they rest not day and night, saying, set apart, set apart, set apart, sovereign, Elohim Almighty, right? Which was and is to come. And when those beasts give glory and honor and thanks to him that sat on the throne, who liveth forever and ever, the 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne and worship him that liveth forever. All right, so let's go ahead, because this is who it's talking about. let's see, fall down before him and worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O sovereign, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. So we know the word pleasure means will, for his will. So when you do his will, you are doing his pleasure. That's how he becomes pleased with you. Right? The King of Glory. He is the DNA. Supreme Emperor, Ab Yahuwah, the Father's court and council in the Shamyin. All right, neighbor, you're going to read chapter 5 for us.
And I saw in the right hand of him who sat on the throne a scroll written inside and on the back, sealed with 7 seals. Then I saw a strong messenger proclaiming with a loud voice, Who is worthy to open the scroll and to loosen its seals? Excuse me. And no one in heaven or on the earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or to look at it. So I wept much, because no one was found worthy to open and read the scroll or to look at it. But one of the elders said to me, Do not weep. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has prevailed to open the scroll and to loosen its seals.
Okay,
It's 7 seals.
Okay, stop right there. Who can tell me how he prevailed? What does it mean he prevailed?
He overcame.
He overcame, right? He did the will of the Father. He went to the tree. He believed that the Father would raise him up. The Father raised him up, so he prevailed. Go ahead, sister.
And I looked, and behold, in the midst of the throne and of the 4 living creatures, in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, as though it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of Yah, sent out into the earth. Then he came and took the scroll out of the right hand of him who sat on the throne. Now when he had taken the scroll, the 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, each having a harp and golden bowls full of incense, which are the prayers of the saints.
Ooh, go ahead.
And they sang their new song, saying, You are worthy to take the scroll and to open its seals, for you were slain and have redeemed us to Elohim by your blood, out of every tribe and tongue and people and nations, and have made us kings and priests to our Elohim, and we shall reign on the earth.
Then we just got done reading that, and we read that in the beginning, right? We went back to the old, to the original, right? It showed you that. But now this is what you got to notice when you run across some of these Hebrews talking about, well, man, can't nobody get in the kingdom except Israel. He just said, what did he say? And every tongue and people and nation. Whoever's doing this. Go ahead, sister.
Then I looked, and I heard the voice of many messengers around the throne, and the living creatures and the elders, and the number of them was 10,000 times 10,000s and thousands of thousands.
Right, the Myriad, like we said in lesson number 3, the Myriad is an innumerable number. Go ahead.
Saying with a loud voice, Worthy is the Lamb who was slain to receive power and riches and wisdom and strength and honor and glory and blessings.
Go ahead.
And every creature which is in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and such as are in sea, and all that are in them, I heard saying, Blessings and honor and glory and power be to him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb forever and ever.
Right. So to him that sit on the throne and unto the Lamb. I mean, these people that be trying to make the Mashiach be more powerful than the Father. I'm sorry, it's just not gonna work. That's why you're supposed to be worshiping the Father. You understand what I'm saying? Go ahead and finish that, sister.
Then the four living creatures said, Amen. And the 24 elders fell down and worshiped him who lives forever and ever.
All right. Thank you, sister. Come on, Trey. Give me we're gonna shoot over to Revelation chapter 22, Trey. Revelation chapter 22. Go ahead and go on mute, neighbor.
Okay.
Thank you, sister. You did great. Come on, Trey.
Revelations chapter 22.
Yes, sir. We're gonna read the whole chapter.
All right. And he showed me a pure river of water, of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb.
Right. We just seen that the mem represents life. We just showed you that in the word Elohim. It's all there. Go ahead, brother.
In the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yielded her fruit every month. And the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nation.
Right. We could show you in Proverbs how the Ruach HaKodesh is likened to the tree of life. Ain't that something? But it's saying that I mean, you just gotta I love this stuff. It's just so strong, boy. Go ahead, man. Before I get all happy. Go ahead, man.
And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of Elohim and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him.
Right. The servant's gonna serve him. So the ones he got a covenant with, you ain't gonna be there. Because you still got to get through this tribulation, because you ain't flying away nowhere before that. And if you're in a place of safety in the wilderness where he's going to meet you and you're going to call him husband again, you got to get through that. So at this point, it's all going to be fulfilled. Go ahead, man.
And they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads.
What? His name? You mean God going to be in his forehead? No. Lord going to be in his forehead? No. Jesus going to be in his forehead? No. Go ahead, brother.
And there shall be no night there, and they need no candle, neither light of the sun. For Yahuwah gives them light, and they shall reign forever and ever.
He's going to give them light just like in the beginning was light, right? Because the light came down. Oh, man. Go ahead, man.
And he said unto me, these sayings are fruitful and true.
Well, you might need to get you
faithful.
Something about some glasses, man. I'm messing with you. Go ahead, man. You doing good. You always do good. Go ahead, man.
These sayings are faithful and true. And the Elohim of the set apart prophets sent his messengers to show unto his servants the things which must be done shortly. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keeps the saying of prophecy of. And I, John, saw these things and heard them. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the messenger which showed me these things. Then said he unto me, see you do it not.
Okay, whoa.
For I am your
Whoa. Hold on. Now, here we go. Here's a perfect example. We just got done looking at Joshua. When the Mashiach showed up and Joshua bowed down, he didn't tell Joshua to get up. What did he tell him? He said, man, take them sandals off your feet, right? That was the captain of Yahuwah's host, which is Yahusha, right? Or Yahshua. But right here, read that again, Trey.
He said, then he said unto me, see you do it not, for I am your fellow servant, and of your brethren, the prophet, and of them which keep the sayings of the book, worship Elohim.
Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, that's powerful. Then he said unto me, see that thou do it not, for I am a fellow servant, and of thy brethren, the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book. Go ahead, verse 10, man.
And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand. He that is unrighteous, let him be unrighteous still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is set apart, let him be set apart still.
Right. That's what these are the same words, righteousness, right? Unjust compared to just, like the just shall live by faith. So he already told you that you keeping the sayings of this book, not what your pastor is telling you. Go ahead, man.
And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be.
Mm.
I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last.
Ooh. Go
Blessed
ahead.
are they that do his commandments.
Wait a minute. What? Wait, whoa, Trey. You reading that wrong, man. Read that again.
Blessed are they that do his commandments.
Mm. So you
That
mean to say I ain't blessed and highly favored if I don't do his commandment? Go ahead, brother.
that they may have right to the tree of life and may enter in through the gates into the city.
Oh, wait a minute now. So that means if you ain't doing this and you ain't up here keeping the sayings of this book, that means you can't get in the city. Go ahead, brother.
For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever loves and makes a lie.
Mm, wow. That's a mouthful right there. Go ahead, brother.
I, Yahushua, have sent my messenger to testify unto you these things in the churches. I am the root and the offspring of David and the bright and morning star.
Wow. So he the branch and the root. But I tell you, boy, man, our king, boy, he got it going on. He do everything. That's why he's so strong. That's why the Father love him like that. Go ahead, man.
And the spirit and the bride say, come.
Wait a minute, the spirit and the bride. Who was the bride?
Israel,
All right, and who else?
Judah.
And who else?
All those that believe and follow his commandments.
That's right. There you go. Kim. All right, come on, brother. That's the bride. That's what we trying to get to be. We trying to get to be the bride. Okay, go ahead, brother.
And let him that hears say, come, and let him that thirst come, and whosoever will, let him take the water of life freely.
Whosoever will. So that's what I'm saying. I just be showing y'all this because don't listen to these crazy folks talking about can't nobody but Israel be saved. That's a lie. He said, whosoever will. All right, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
For I testify unto every man that hears the word of the prophecy of this book. If any man shall add unto these things, Yahuwah shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book.
Mm.
And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, Elohim shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the set apart city and from the things which are written in this book. He which testifies these things say, surely I come quickly. Amen, even so come. Yahushua HaMashiach, the grace of our Mashiach with you all. Amen.
All right. So let's keep rolling now. So we got that. Now let's go down here and look at this. This is so we see that the Father is the DNA, but guess what? The Son is the RNA. He has the blueprints for creation. He has the covenant. He has the scroll. He's the master of the books. He is the one that you're gonna have to face if you leave this earth. And when he wake you back up, if you whether you keep the commandments or not, you're gonna have to face him. Because it says all shall stand before the judgment seat of the Mashiach. He is the Lamb, King of Kings, Captain of the host of Yahuwah, and he's also Yahuwah the Son. Brings us back into covenant. He's also Elohim. And we just got done reading that. He came and took the scroll. The 4 living creatures and the 24 elders fell down. They sang a new song. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. He had prevailed. So the way it sounds is like he just resurrected and boom. Oh, who? They all scared. Oh, who's gonna be in it? Oh, wait a minute. Here it is. It's the Lamb. He's prevailed. Oh man, that's exactly how it looks to me, right? So he prevailed. And you have the Ruach, who is also known as wisdom. She is RNA too. The Ruach HaKodesh, she is a craftsman who builds the creation, teaches the creation, guides the creation, and nurtures their creation. Kim, let's get me the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4.
Okay.
Ecclesiastes or the book of Sirach, chapter 4.
Okay, and what,
Start at verse 1.
okay. So I returned and considereth all the oppressions that are done under the sun. And behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praiseth the dead, which are already dead, more than the living, which are yet alive. Yea, better is he than both they, which has not yet been, who has not seen the evil work that is done under the sun. You want me to continue? Again, I considered all travaileth and every right work.
Okay, wait a minute. What verse you at, sister?
Verse 4.
Ecclesiastes, is that Sirach chapter 4?
Ecclesiastes, yeah. That's where,
Sirach, you got Sirach, right? That's also called Ecclesiasticus.
oh, okay, let's see, Sirach.
Yeah, go to Sirach chapter 4.
Uh,
You should have it in your Sefer.
okay, what, give me a clue, because I'm not familiar with that one.
Okay, well don't worry, I'll get that one, but write it down. It's Sirach should be in your.
Oh, I found it.
I was say, because I know you got that, what's the name? That
Sefer.
Sefer. It should
Yeah.
be there. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I found it. Verse 4. Chapter 4.
Yes.
Verse 1.
Yes.
My son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long.
Right. So we supposed to be out there doing our thing with these people, helping the poor, helping the needy, right? Not going up to the store and say, ma'am, can you give me 50 cents? Look, man, you need to get you a job. That ain't gonna work. Go ahead.
Make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. Add not more trouble to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give to him that is in need.
You said defer not. Go ahead, sister. You're doing great.
Reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away your face from a poor man. Turn not away your eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse you.
Right. Go ahead.
For if he curse you in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer shall be heard of him that made him. Get yourself the love of the assembly, and bow your head to a great man. Let it not grieve you to bow down your ear to the poor, and give him a friendly answer with meekness. Deliver him that suffers wrong from the hand of the oppressor, and be not faint-hearted when you sit in judgment.
So you can see how America's in bad, America and Britain. I mean, a lot of these countries around the world, we can see how they're gonna be in bad shape, boy. Yahoo are gonna deal with them. Go ahead, sister.
Be as a father unto the fatherless, and instead of a man unto their mother. So shall you be as the son of Elion, and he shall love you more than your mother does.
Ooh wee, man, that's deep right there, boy. More than your mother does. You could be a straight killer, criminal, and everything. Then mother still be like, I know, but I just don't think he was a good boy. You know what I'm saying? He done killed 22 people or something. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Wisdom exalts her children and lays hold of them that seek her.
Okay, so we know wisdom is the Ruach. So here go another book calling the Ruach a her.
Mm-hmm.
All these books that you're gonna read, they always gonna say she, her, she. Even in Proverbs, it calls the Ruach a she. But when you get to the New Testament, here they come with this he stuff. But that's on them. Go ahead, sister.
He that loves her loves life, and they that seek to her early shall be filled with joy.
That's why I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to find this thing. Go ahead.
He that holds her fast shall inherit glory. And
Ooh. So if you hold, she already gonna teach you, right? She's the craftsman who builds creation. She gonna teach you and teach the creation. She guides the creation, and she gonna nourish you. So if you hold fast to her, she gonna help you get past this evil world. Because we know, we just got done reading Job, the evil got control of this world. So for you to try to get through this thing in your flesh, the Mashiach said, what? If you love me, I'm gonna send you somebody to comfort you, to lead you, to teach you, your helper. Because you're gonna need a helper. Go ahead, sister.
let's see. He holds her fast shall inherit glory, and whatsoever she enters, Yahuwah will bless. They that serve her shall minister to the Holy One, and them that love her, Yahuwah loves. Whosoever gives ear unto her shall judge the nations, and he that attends unto her shall dwell securely.
We can read that in the book to you. The ones that keep these commandments, you're gonna judge the nation. You're gonna be sitting right there when each candidate come up and try to tell their lies or whatever they're gonna try to come up with. You're gonna be right there judging them, right? And we know that Israel, that the apostles, the 12 apostles, is gonna judge Israel. See how this goes? Go ahead, sister.
If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul and try him by her Torah.
Ooh, so she gonna be all kind of. I remember I told you about the people that they came out to Sunday church and they started keeping the Shabbat, going to the feast day. Then guess what? They started losing stuff. You know what I'm saying? And this is what was going on, because she gonna test you, and that's why I say, you fall, you gonna just take your licking and get back up and just keep doing it. See, every day she gonna do this. This is every day, because she got to see if you're gonna keep these commandments. That's what let me know that this gift that we're gonna get if we can finish this thing, it's gotta be mind blowing. Because all the stuff that we be going through on this earth, and especially when you're trying to do this, if you can get through this, the reward that he has for you says that your mind can't even comprehend it. Go ahead, sister.
Let's see. 18. Okay. Then she will return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets.
That's how you're going to be able to see these deep things in this book. This is how it's just, all of a sudden you're going to be like, wait a minute, I never saw that before. That's how you're going to get these deep understanding of the dark sayings or the secrets of this book, because of her. That's why when you talk to people that right away, they don't have the Ruach, because they look at you like you talking about, like you in a cult or something like that. You ain't in no cult, you in this book. Go ahead, sister.
But if he goes wrong, she will forsake him and give him over to his own ruin.
I'm gonna tell you, that's the absolute truth. That's the absolute truth. If you leave her and start doing what you was doing before, it's gonna be hard, boy. But you can fight your way out. You're gonna have to fight your way out of it. That's why you don't have no other choice. If not, it's gonna destroy you. Go ahead, sister.
Observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerns your soul. For there is shame that brings sin, and there is shame which is glory and grace.
Right. I don't care what your fake friends or your other family members try to get you to do. If you know it's wrong when it comes to your salvation, Don't be ashamed of the Most High. Do what he said do. Be right with him. That's all that matters. Go ahead, sister.
Accept no person against your soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause you to fall.
Right. I ain't thinking about you, Pastor, man. You ain't teaching me right. I got to get away from you. Go ahead.
And refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good, and hide not your wisdom in her beauty.
Right. Yeah. Teach the people. Yeah, man, why you doing that? Well, because of this. You got to live it, whether they accept it or not. You still got to, don't hide your wisdom. She's giving it to you. You're supposed to be giving it to somebody else because that's the whole thing. We're supposed to be trying to get the people, but the lost sheep. And as far as, like I say, like I always say, it's everybody that's on this earth needs to come because he said, whosoever will. Go ahead, sister.
For by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue.
Mhm.
And in no wise speak against the truth, but be abashed of the error of your ignorance. Be not ashamed to confess your sins, and force not the course of the river. Make not yourself an underling to a foolish man, neither accept the person of the mighty.
Right. You know, this man telling you ain't you under grace and you ain't got to do this, man. Don't be no underling to that joker. Get away from him. Go ahead, sister.
Strive for the truth unto death, and Yahuwah shall fight for you.
Right, man. Fight for these commandments unto death, and Yahuwah gonna fight for you. Go ahead, sister.
Be not hasty in your tongue, and in your deeds slack and remiss.
Go ahead.
Be not as a lion in your house, nor frantic among your servants.
Right. Don't be overpowering people in your house trying to rule over folks and all that type of stuff. Go ahead, sister.
Let not your hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when you should repay.
When you should repay, you borrow something, you're supposed to give it back. They shouldn't have to come looking for you. All right. So now that was great. Great job, Kim. Everybody, everybody that read today, boy, y'all on the ball. Y'all, I see that y'all starting to see how this name goes. Y'all starting to use the name when you read, and the more that you read and just put that name there, it's gonna after a while, it's just gonna be just like water, just like water. It's not gonna even be hard no more. All right. So we have the mighty seraphim. We got a few more minutes. The seraphim in Hebrew is sarif, right? All right. So this word seraph in the original plural, right? Seraphim, Latin seraphim and seraphim, plural Greek, right? Seraphim. These are noted as the highest order of choir of spirits according to Christianity and the fifth rank of the 10 in the Jewish spiritual hierarchy. But we know that this is the highest order. This is why they are over the throne of Yahuwah, saying holy, holy, holy to him, right? All right, let's keep rolling. They are the Elohim who are attendants or guardians before Elohim's throne. They continually praise and glorify Ab Yahuwah, calling holy, holy, holy is the Elohim of hosts. Right? And then here's your Bible reference right here. You want to, y'all gonna have the video, so you'll be able to go over this. Seraphim means burners, the burning ones, glowing ones, or destroyers, and as the closest attendants at the throne of Elohim. Now, this word Elohim is still Elohim. That's just the Aramaic way of saying it. They are represented as standing above the king as he sat upon his throne, ready at once to minister unto him. This word in the original Hebrew, right? Serif, right? Sheen, Resh, Pei, is used elsewhere only of the fiery serpents. And now here you can go look at this here too. So when Moshe put those serpents on that pole, that's who that represented. That's why they was able to get healed if a snake bit them. They had to look at the pole at them serpents he had up there. Let's keep going. Scholars propose that in their true appearance, they are so bright that no mortal man could gaze upon them. However, they can apparently change their appearance when delivering messages to the human world. Isaiah was cleaned from sin by a seraph who touched a burning coal to his lips. Isaiah 6:6. The masculine noun sarap or sarap denotes a fiery serpent and is used 5 times in all these scriptures. You can go look at them. All these right here. All right. Now, I highlight them for you. To describe the spiritual building of beings known as seraphim. The three highest orders of attendance to the Father, seraphim, relate to cherubim and orphanim, and are superior to the malaks or to the messengers who are sent on various errands. So there's a level of hierarchy in this thing, in this council. Isaiah 6:2 saw the seraphim in a vision standing above the Father as he sat upon his throne. He described them as each having 3 pairs of wings. With one pair, they covered their faces, a token of humility. With the second, they covered their feet, a token of respect, like taking off your sandals. While the third, they flew. They seem to have presented a general resemblance to the human figure as recorded in verse 6. He saw their occupation as twofold. First, to celebrate the praises of his holiness and power. Verse 3, and to communicate as the medium of communication between heaven and the earth. Verse 6, seraphim are so close to Elohim that they are thought to be spirits of Elohim's unfathomable and endless love. All right, now, next we have the 4 living ones, which they translated as beasts. In Reverend Form 5, the only possible equivalent is the living ones, mistranslated as beasts in the King James, etc., right? Because if you look it up in the Greek, it's going to say zoology or zoology, a living creature, animal, a living being, not therein translated, right? Beast. So they sit around, they stand around the throne and they say, holy, holy, holy. See, everything praises Yah. And we have the mighty cherubim, messengers, right? Or we say angels of the second highest order, celestial hierarchy. Now I have the scriptures right here. Like I said, we're going to put it up online so you can always go back and look at them to make sure that they're there. But I want to show y'all something. Now, you know what? We're going to look at some of these. Let's go to Exodus chapter 25. Let's do that one. Let's go there. I'll show y'all a couple of these because I want to get down to this angel thing. And then we're going to stop right there because it's going to be time. Exodus chapter 25 and verse 22. I can see this thing, what it is. Exodus chapter 25 and 22. Now, this is what the Almighty, because this is who was dealing with Israel. As like I said, if you go up there and look at that lesson on the Almighty, you'll realize that. And there I will meet with thee. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go up to start at verse 20. And the cherubim shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look one to another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubim be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above the ark, and in the ark thou shalt put the testimony. What's that? The 10 Commandments. So they so holy, they going inside the ark. And people still don't think they got to keep them. That I shall give thee, and there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat, from between the 2 cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony of all things, which I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. Now, just for a note, you can go to write this down. Numbers 7 and I think it's 9. Deuteronomy 23 and 12, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong. I'm trying to do this like just what I'm thinking about. But now, okay, let's go look at another thing so how you can know that this was the Mashiach in the spirit. Let's go to John chapter 20. I'm going to show you something else here real quick. John chapter 20, and we're going to start at verse 8. John chapter 20 and verse 8. Okay. Let's see. It says, I'm going to start at 6. Then cometh Simon Peter, following him, and went into the sepulchre, and seeing the linen cloth lie, and the napkin that was about his head, not lying with the linen clothes, but wrapped together in a place by itself. They went in also that other disciple which came first to the sepulchre, and he saw and believed. For as yet they knew not the scripture that he must rise again from the dead. Then the disciples went away again into their own house. But Mary stood without at the sepulchre weeping. And as she wept, she stooped down and looked into the sepulchre, and seeing 2 angels in white sitting, the one at the head and the other at the feet of the body of Yahusha had lain. So there you go. There's the two cherubim on both sides, one on this side, one on that side, and that's did y'all see this? It's the Mashiach. It's the Almighty. He had risen, and here come, and he still got the two cherubim right there. Two different. It said two angels, but that represents two cherubim. But now y'all can go back and look at these. I would advise you to do that. For the sake of time, we're gonna keep moving. So Ezekiel 10, 1 through 20. You can go through that, and this is what it's talking about. Here the cherubim are. Right, and here's the wheels with the eyes that looked all over the place, that looked everywhere. And again, look who's here. Huh? All right. Now, of course, you know who this is, right? Y'all should. Okay, we're going to keep going. Here you go again. Now, Enoch chapter 14, verse 18 to 24 is going to reveal to you who this is, and that's how he rides. You know, how Elohim got a cold-blooded transportation, don't he? But you see these four cherubims right there, right? And then there's the crystal right there. You just go to Enoch chapter 14, 18 through 24. Now, we know that the 12, that's what we just got done reading about the 24 elders. The number 12 represents Yahuwah's people, the 12 tribes, and then you have the 12 apostles. That's where you get your 24. Elders are respected leaders, representative of those who rule Yahuwah's people, casting their crowns down before the throne, symbolizes they are in complete submission to his rule. Their crowns are under his crown. And here's another shot of it. I was going to add something, but I decided not to. Now, let's get to this, and we're going to call it a day. What they call the angels or Malek. Which one should we use? All right, let's see. The Bible characteristically uses Malik or Malek to designate a human messenger, right? Because you're going to see that in 1 Samuel 11 and 4, 1 Kings 19 and 2. A smaller number of the over 200 occurrences of the word in the Old Testament. Now, this is what we've done. We have formed mental images of angels placed in our minds by sinister scholars, gained mostly from paintings provided primarily by the Renaissance artists. That's where a lot of this foolishness comes from, many of whom were under contract to the Vatican and religious authorities. Because if you do your research on when the Catholic Church was mostly right before it really started getting into power, they didn't have no idols and sitting up in the church. They just got added during this time, right? During this Renaissance period. Many of whom, and that's where you got that picture of Jesus at too. Many of whom were under contract to the Vatican and religious authorities who commissioned what they wanted for themselves and what they chose the public should see. So the word Malak is H number 4397. It means messenger, representative of Yahuwah. And he's a representative to man. He's a ministering spirit. Oh, these are the workers. These are some of the workers. Enoch will tell you some of the other jobs that they have. The translation of Malak by angel in English Bible occurs the ancient Israelite perception of the divine realm, where English angel is the undifferentiating term for all Yahuwah's supernatural assistant. Malak originally I can't never say that word. Anyway, I just can't. I know it's a different. Anyway, Yahuwah dispatched on missions as messengers. Thus, an early Israelite from the period of the monarchy would probably not have identified the theomorphic cherubim and cherubim as Malik messengers, for the frightful appearance of these creatures made them unlikely candidates to serve us. All right, so when you go back to the book of Genesis, what did he have there swinging the blades? It was two cherubim. They had these heads on them. This is why he scared them to death, and he ran them up out of the garden. This is what they looked like, but they had swords of fire. So let's come on back down. Let's see. Meditators of Yahuwah message to humans, and indeed there is no record of their ever having done so in the Old Testament. Even the Greek word angelos. See, that's where this word angel comes from. It's a Greek word meant at first simply messengers. It is only in later texts in the Old Testament and everywhere in Apocryphal and New Testament texts that the word angel and angelos became generic term. For any of Yahuwah's supernatural assistants, whether they function as messengers or not, when English borrowed the term angel from Greek, it was not in its earlier sense messenger, but in its later significance of the supernatural being under Yahuwah's authority. And I got this out of the Dictionary of Deities and Demons. So with that, I'm gonna say that's it for today, y'all. So we're gonna finish the rest of this. I might just go, I think I'll go ahead and put it up online. All right.